Hello everyone, welcome to the second episode of the Journey to Valhalla launch week. My name is Thiago, I'm the community manager for Loot Studios and I'm here to present to you guys this new project. If you didn't watch the first episode, go check it out before you continue to watch this video. It is really important to understand everything that's going on. As I said in the last episode, this is a new project in a fantasy Viking team. The first time that Loot creates a universe from scratch. The idea was to develop a toolbox for the game masters interested in playing this universe, regardless of the game system they're on. And of course, extremely detailed miniatures with 100% of the concepts being original and realistic, just how you are used to. Pre-supported and ready for 3D printing in resin in 32 and 75mm scales. This universe is named Claigard and inhabited by 3 tribes, each with unique lore and different visual identities. In the last episode I introduced you to the lore of this world, and the first tribe, Frodran. The Ice tribe with 11 character minis, 7 objects and an amazing vessel. But today, you'll see something new. A new tribe, Askelung, the Sea tribe.
The Askelungs are known as greedy people who go to great lengths to trade. As a coastal tribe, they have access to cheap and safe transport through the shores, where the waters are too shallow for the kraken, and also to geographically diverse lands with different natural resources that can be cheaply explored and then traded. They are rich, efficient, and cutthroat, both figuratively and literally, and have top-notch resources to show for it. As a people used to haggling, the Askelung are raised in the midst of intrigue and are prime candidates for diplomatic endeavors, both sincere and mischievous. They would be natural arbitrators in conflicts between the Svertig and Froderung, and could unite all humankind if it was in their interest. The Askelungs are especially wary of their borders with the Froderung. The coastal folk believed those barbarians would be unstoppable if proper gear of fine craftsmanship fell into their hands. Losing territory to the Froderung could become a snowball effect. On the other borders shared with the Svertig, the Askelung approach relations in a more diplomatic manner to secure strategic resources. But this seldom works. The forest people have no need for fancy trinkets, and they value the wilderness too highly to let it be razed in search of resources.
And I will show you the details of each miniature, beginning with the Battered Warrior. With its many resources, the Askelung can afford to greatly protect their combatants. The Battered Warrior's role is on the defensive side, with limited mobility due to the many layers of padded, chain, and leather armor, along with a bulky cloak and a large shield. Taking over a structure fortified by these warriors requires massive forces and dragged-out battles. This is the Shield Maiden. Famed far and wide for their teamwork, shield maidens fight in fearsome shield wall formations that are able to repel almost any kind of attack. They are employed to slowly advance towards a fortified structure to engage in melee and take it over with no casualties. Look at the amount of details on this mini. Like, even her bearded axe has the inscriptions and decorations that are typical for a Viking axe of the age. And you can see both on her armor and her shield, the Oroboros symbol that defines her tribe. The next one is the Swashbuckler, another amazing female fighter. Skilled in fencing, but not too proud to backstab with a spare dagger, the Swashbuckler is an agile fighter able to deftly balance on moving decks while masterfully using her environment as aid in combat, be it ropes, barrels, planks, or whatever is at hand. Despite not being a match against some more heavily geared opponents in fair fights, her fights are seldomly fair. While the Battered Warrior and the Shield Maiden work amazingly as fighters and maybe even paladins, The Swashbuckler is obviously a rogue, and a very, very good one at that. And you can see here to detail her daggers, her empty scabbards. I think this is gonna be an amazing mini to pilot in a D&D game. This is the Bannerman. Rallying the Askelung forces while in organized combat, the Bannerman is responsible for signaling to the whole army tactical decisions from long distances when sound cannot be easily distinguished. If enemies do get to him, and they have in the past, he can still defend himself with the pointed tip of his banner and a well-crafted shield. We actually made two versions of this mini, one using the banner and one using a polearm. So we have actually left the banner of the Bannerman blank, so you can add whatever you want. And I think the Bannerman is a miniature that works beautifully as either a fighter with their battle maneuvers or as a paladin with their auras. The point of the Bannerman is to rally their allies into combat. And this does look like someone you'd want to have by your side in combat. The Askelungs are well known by their archers, and this is their Sharpshooter. Having inherited both a knack with the bow and rune bracers to enhance for steady aim, the Sharpshooter confidently strikes from very long distances with a deadly aim. He stands calmly out of harm's way and can even land arrows while standing on a ship's deck against a moving target 600 feet away. So, this is a mini for those who are playing a ranger or a dex-based fighter. You can actually see the runes in his bracers here that I mentioned, and you can use those as bracers of archery. And you can see that this guy was born with archery in his blood, because even his mustache is a bow. The second archer we have for you today is the Marksman. The Marksman used to fight in the front lines, until the day came when he stared death in the face. Narrowly escaping death by clawing, the Marksman had vivid recollections of sharp claws near his head whenever he fought in melee. He didn't accept the shame of quitting the fight, and took up the bow to fight while avoiding the flashbacks of melee combat. So this archer doesn't carry a sword like the Sharpshooter, only a dagger as a last resort. He really doesn't want to go into melee combat because of what happened to his face right here. You can actually see the details of the claw marks on his face. The last archer is the Corpse Cremator. In life and in death, those of the Askelung tribe belong to the sea. The Corpse Cremator assures that her slain companions are given a proper funeral at sea, and burns them along with whatever they might need in the afterlife. When times are brighter and there's no one to mourn, she wields her flaming arrows to burn other vessels and maintain naval dominance. The Corpse Cremator makes sure that all Vikings of the Askelung tribe are given back to the coiled serpent below. The last female mini is the Viking Pirate. The Viking Pirate has always been enamored with the sea and looting, and has chosen to follow that path in life. While disfigured by facial stars and opting for a more functional, partly bald hairstyle, she continues joining seasonal plundering expeditions year after year, despite being rich enough to retire. She's in it for the thrill of combat. Another warrior using a shield and an axe, but with a totally different and unique design. Vikings were the original pirates, and this is a pirate's pirate. She and the Askelung tribe are the embodiment of the Viking seafaring and conquering spirit. The next one is the Weizen Warrior. After many decades of countless battles, the Weizen Warrior is truly an experienced combatant. Not even such lengthy experience can repel Father Time's grasp forever though. And he now throws himself into combat, hoping for a Valkyrie's embrace and his seat in Valhalla. But none have been able to best him yet. A Viking that doesn't die in combat doesn't get to go to the golden halls of Valhalla, so this character will fight to the bitter end. And you know what they say about old men in professions where people die young. These are the Beastmaster and Lady, his warthog companion. Both a falconer and a pig wrangler, the Beastmaster trains all kinds of animals, sometimes even wild ones such as Lady, his prized companion warthog. Used for reconnaissance, his falcons are able to transmit details what they see, as well as deliver long-distance messages in a short time, while some of the other animals have less subtle roles in combat. Now, these are the 32mm versions of the Beastmaster and Lady, and these are the 75mm versions. This is another instance of loot giving you 2 minis for the price of 1. The Beastmaster is perfect if you're playing a Beast Companion Ranger, but it also works really well for a wild-shaped druid. Finally, we get to the Battering Ram. He is an unstoppable force. When something needs to be taken out single-handedly, the Askelung trusts this mighty warrior with the best metal hammer around to do the job. He proudly wears on his chest the Oroboros symbol and is delighted when demolishing other ships, displaying that only the Oroboros is eternal. I believe this is the closest the Askelung tribe gets to a barbarian, and you absolutely do not want to get hit by that hammer. And last but not least, the Head Splitter. I think you already know this miniature. We gave it for free before the launch event. If you didn't download it, the link is below in the description of the video. Known for his brutal force with the axe, the Head Splitter is actually a more balanced fighter than his nickname might suggest. He can deal out punishment when it's time to, but he also works alongside other warriors with his shield and longsword. Fulfilling both the role of vanguard in a group combat and of a devastating striker, the Head Splitter is a vital part of the Askelung. And here you have Painted Head Splitter from our video tutorial on YouTube, and you can check that out here if you haven't yet. And to bring this tribe to life, we have some lovely objects here. So we have a shipwreck, because not all Viking expeditions end well. Of course, we have a treasure chest as always. We have a training dummy so our warriors can prepare themselves for battle. This is the Sea tribe, so of course we have a little market and the catch of the day here. And last but not least, we have a shrine to Odin, and you can actually see that on Odin's shoulders here, he has his little ravens. And we've saved the best for last. This is the Oroboros, the Eternal Ship. Named after the eternal serpent Oroboros, the Askelung vessels are built with the finest materials all over Claigard, and meant to endure indefinitely. These costly ships pay for themselves through their use for naval commerce, when not used for war, and so the Askelung can always replace the damaged one using the proceeds from its commercial endeavors. It can actually fit up to 10 32mm humanoid figures. Simply beautiful. This is a classic Viking ship for your classic Viking needs. And that is the Sea tribe. Next Friday, we will reveal the last tribe and explain how the launch will work. We are receiving a lot of questions about it, but we want to say that it will be available on August 16th, next Monday. So be patient, guys. And one important thing, everyone that is subscribed to our email list will receive the link with a big discount in the first 24 hours. Yeah, that's right. So don't forget to click below to subscribe. And if you are already subscribed, click below to join our Discord server. Before I finish, I want to ask you just one favor. Please comment below your thoughts or leave a question. We will read every single comment and answer all the questions. It is really important to us to understand what you are thinking about this project. So, see you next Friday. Okay, I guess this is it. We're done, guys. Could you go get me a glass of water? Yeah, thanks.